The Honourable First Minister.
Thanks, Madam Speaker. I move, seconded by the member for Radisson, that whereas protecting health care is the most important priority of both Canadians and Manitobans, and whereas the federal government must become a full funding partner with provinces and territories to protect health care and ensure Canadians and Manitobans receive the health care they need when they need it, and whereas health care funding provided by the federal government has decreased nationally to its lowest levels since the passage of the Canada Health Act, and whereas the growing funding imbalance in the Federation has come at a time when healthcare needs and costs are rising faster than provincial and territorial governments can afford, and federal health transfers are insufficient to meet those demands, and whereas the COVID-19 pandemic has demonstrated an immediate need for increased healthcare investments across Canada now and into the future, and whereas the federal government has failed to respond positively to repeated provincial and territorial requests to increase Canada Health transfer funding, and whereas the federal government has both a national obligation and an opportunity to resume its role as a true funding partner to ensure Canadians get the health care they need in a time, and whereas wait times for needed health services are increasing and Manitoba's population is growing and aging, therefore be it resolved that the Legislative Assembly of Manitoba call upon the federal government to become a full health care funding partner and increase the Canada Health transfer to protect health care for all Canadians.
Give more on this one.
It has been moved by the Honourable First Minister, seconded by the Honourable Member for Radisson, whereas dispense. The Honourable First Minister.
Madam Speaker, this is a fairly rare opportunity for members of the House to rise together in what I hope will be unanimous support for a common sense resolution that all provincial premiers have agreed is a high priority and are all of them asking their legislative assemblies to support. And so across the country, if we can get that unanimous support from every provincial legislature, Madam Speaker, I believe that unanimous voice will give us the great opportunity to get the federal government to do the right thing. The demand for health care in our country has never risen faster than it is now. Federal support for health care has never been lower, and wait times have never been longer. Madam Speaker, priority surgery wait times have doubled and tripled in the last 25 years in our country. This is a long-term problem, but it's going to be exacerbated by an aging population and accelerated by the realities of COVID-19. Waits from first referral to seeing a specialist, for example, Madam Speaker, have more than tripled in almost every province in the country. And how important is that to a family that's waiting for a test, for a lump to be examined, or waiting for the result of that test, which those times have tripled as well, Madam Speaker, waiting every day in fear. We can address this issue, Madam Speaker, and we must. There is unanimity among all researchers. There is zero research to support the federal government's position that it can continue to decline in terms of its support for provincial delivery of health care. The Institute for Fiscal Studies and Democracy, the Conference Board of Canada, the Parliamentary Budget Office, the Fraser Institute, the C.D. Howe Institute, across the spectrum, Madam Speaker, they're all saying the same thing. Federal spending on health transfers has grown inversely with actual health care costs. Health care costs have gone up, federal support has gone down. Madam Speaker, it's clear. If health care is slow, think Trudeau, because that is the problem right now, and we need to stand together, and we need to make this change happen. Madam Speaker, we have premiers from all across the political spectrum. We have Liberal premiers, we have an NDP premier, we have Conservative premiers who have all come together and unanimously agreed that we must stay standing together. COVID is making everything worse. There are 500,000 Canadians right now waiting for procedures. The delay is going to cost even more in human suffering and in actual investments necessary to address unaddressed situations that have been delayed. It would be great to get this approved today. I'll keep my remarks to that, Madam Speaker. I'd encourage members to please let this come to a vote and show our unanimity on this issue. This is an opportunity for all of us to stand together in a compelling way and say to Manitobans, we want shorter wait times for you. We want better care sooner. The only reason, Madam Speaker, that someone would try to talk this out today and not support it is, frankly, if they want longer wait times. And I don't think that's a defensible position. I ask all members to come together today and support this resolution.